Have you ever felt like you're constantly fighting against the current of life, struggling to stay afloat? What if I told you there's a way to not just survive, but thrive through life's greatest trials? Welcome to a transformative journey of self-discovery through the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. This isn't just another self-help guide, it's a life-altering path which can arm you with unshakable resilience, profound peace, and deep-seated happiness. In this video, we'll explore 7 core Stoic principles that can change your perception, empowering you to lead a life filled with wisdom and inner strength. These principles have the power to shift your mindset, make you the master of situations that seem beyond control, and ultimately, transform your life. So, I invite you to join us. There's an extraordinary journey ahead. Dive in, and let's discover your inner strength together. Understanding what you can and cannot control. The first principle of Stoicism is perhaps one of the simplest, yet most profound, understandings we can integrate into our lives. It is the principle of understanding what we can and cannot control, a concept that can be a game changer in how we respond to the world around us. Imagine this scenario: you're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. The cars around you are a seemingly endless sea of metal and glass, honking horns echo in your ears, and you can literally feel your blood pressure rising with every passing minute. Now ask yourself, can I control this traffic? The answer is, of course, an emphatic no. You cannot control how many cars are on the road. You can't control the reckless driver who just cut you off, and you can't control the red traffic light that seems to last an eternity. But here's what you can control: your reaction to it. You can choose to let the stress and frustration consume you, or you can choose to accept the situation for what it is, a situation beyond your control, and instead use this time as an opportunity. Maybe you listen to an audiobook, catch up on a podcast, or simply take a few moments to breathe and take in the world around you. This principle is akin to being the captain of a ship in the midst of a stormy sea. The sailor cannot control the ferocity of a storm, the strength of the winds, or the size of the waves. What they can control, however, is how they respond. They can adjust their sails, steer their ship, and stay calm amidst the chaos. Applying this principle in your daily life can lead to a dramatic reduction in stress and anxiety. It can eliminate a lot of the worry and tension we often take on when we try to control the uncontrollable. In essence, it helps us differentiate between what is our responsibility and what isn't. This doesn't mean that we should be indifferent towards the world around us. It simply means that we should direct our energy and focus towards aspects of our life where we can make a difference. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know what I can and can't control? Well, a good rule of thumb is that you can generally control your own actions, thoughts, and feelings, but you can't control what other people do or say, and you can't control external circumstances. The key is to be mindful and self-aware, to stop and reflect before reacting to a situation. With practice, you'll be able to quickly identify what's within your control and what isn't, and respond accordingly. Embracing this Stoic principle allows us to live more peacefully, effectively, and mindfully. It empowers us to take charge of our life, to be the calm in the midst of the storm, and to navigate life's tumultuous seas with wisdom and serenity. Remember, it's not the storm that determines our fate, but how we sail through it. The second principle of Stoicism revolves around the idea of living according to your values. Objects, situations, and people around us may constantly evolve, but it's our core values that remain the same. These are the guiding principles that shape our choices, actions, and behaviors. Let's contemplate this with an analogy. Picture yourself as an esteemed author, writing the most critical book of your life's own unique narrative. Each word in this book represents your thoughts, each sentence your decisions, and each chapter your actions. The storyline is shaped by your values, and every decision you make is guided by these principles. You are the sole author of this book, and only you have the power to decide its narrative. Living by your values means that this book of life is an authentic reflection of who you are, not influenced by societal pressures or external judgments. You set your standards, you create your plot, and you write your ending. It means making choices that align with your beliefs, even when they are difficult or unpopular. Let's break down the significance of living according to our values. Authenticity. When you live by your values, you live authentically. You are in sync with your beliefs and principles. This creates a sense of integrity and wholeness, enhancing your self-esteem and self-respect. Decision-making. Our values guide our decision-making process. They serve as a compass, directing us towards the path that aligns with our authentic selves. This can lead to a life filled with satisfaction and contentment, as our choices are driven by our true desires and not by external influences or fleeting trends. Resilience. When we're anchored in our values, we can weather life's storms with greater resilience. We have a deeper understanding of our worth, independent of external validation. This strengthens our ability to face challenges and bounce back from adversities. Purpose. Living according to our values provides us with a clear sense of purpose. We understand our mission and are willing to dedicate our time and energy to pursue it. This fuels our drive and determination, providing a sense of direction and fulfillment. Relationships. Our values shape our relationships. They determine how we treat others and what we expect in return. Relationships built on shared values are often more meaningful, satisfying, and enduring. Living according to our values isn't always easy. It requires self-awareness, courage, and steadfastness. It means standing up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable. It means staying true to ourselves, even when the world tries to mold us into something we're not. Remember, the power to shape your narrative lies within you. By living according to your values, you can write a book of life that even the harshest critic, yourself, will be proud of. Embrace this Stoic principle and take control of your life's narrative. After all, you are the author, and it's up to you to make it a masterpiece. The third principle in our exploration of Stoicism is accepting change, an often overlooked but incredibly powerful strategy for navigating life's highs and lows. Failing to accept change is like trying to hold back the tide. It's a battle you simply won't win. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to embrace change, to adapt and grow with it, rather than resist it. Think about it. Imagine you are a tree. You experience all the seasons, the new growth of spring, the full bloom of summer, the falling leaves of autumn, and the bare branches of winter. Each season brings change, and each change serves a purpose. The tree does not resist the shift from summer to autumn. Instead, it sheds its leaves, conserves its resources, and prepares for the new growth that will come in spring. This is how we should view change in our lives. We need to be like the tree, accepting each season as it comes, understanding that each one serves a purpose and will ultimately lead to growth. But how do we do this? First, we need to understand that change is inevitable. Nothing in life remains static, and that's a good thing. Change brings growth, progress, learning, and new opportunities. It's only through change that we are able to evolve, to become better versions of ourselves. If we can truly grasp this concept, we can start to view change not as a threat, but as an ally. Next, we need to let go of our resistance to change. Resistance often arises from fear, fear of the unknown, fear of loss, fear of discomfort. But fear is just an emotion, a response to a perceived threat. And like all emotions, it's transient. It comes and goes. We can acknowledge it, understand it, and then let it go. When we do this, we create space for acceptance to take root. Finally, we have to practice acceptance on a daily basis. This isn't something that happens overnight. It's a skill that we cultivate over time through mindfulness and conscious effort. Each time we're faced with a change, we have to remind ourselves of its inevitability, let go of our resistance, and choose to accept it. Accepting change doesn't mean we have to like it, or that it won't be painful or uncomfortable. But it does mean that we don't get stuck in the pain or discomfort. We don't allow it to dictate our actions or determine our happiness. Instead, we acknowledge it, allow it to be, and then we move through it, knowing that it's just a part of our journey, a necessary step on the path to growth. In conclusion, accepting change is an essential part of Stoic philosophy. It's about understanding the nature of life, letting go of resistance, and choosing to move with the flow of life rather than against it. With practice, this principle can bring us a sense of peace and resilience that is truly empowering. So, let's be like the tree, embracing each season as it comes, and growing stronger with each change we encounter. Now, let's delve into the fourth principle, the practice of detachment. This, dear friends, is a principle that may sound simple in theory but can be surprisingly challenging to implement. It's a concept that requires us to shift our perspective, to change our mindset about the way we interact with the world. Detachment should not be misconstrued as indifference or lack of passion. Rather, it is the understanding that everything in our lives is transient, and holding on to things too tightly can lead to unnecessary pain and suffering. It's about breaking free from the shackles of dependency and finding freedom in non-attachment. Picture yourself holding onto a hot coal. The longer you hold it, the more it burns, right? But why are you holding onto it? The coal itself is not causing the pain, but your unwillingness to let go. You have the power to drop it, to let go, to detach. The moment you do, the pain stops. This is the power of detachment. In the context of life, the hot coals can be anything: a stressful job, a toxic relationship, an unhealthy habit, an unachievable goal. By learning to let go, we free ourselves from the pain and make room for growth and new opportunities. Detachment also helps us in our relationships. How often do we find ourselves trying to control others or allowing their actions to affect our emotions? True detachment is understanding that we cannot control others, just as they cannot control us. It's about respecting individuality and freedom, leading to healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Now, here's the beauty of practicing detachment. It doesn't mean you stop caring. Quite the contrary, it means you care, you give your best, you love passionately, but you do so with the understanding that everything is impermanent. You do so without expectations of the outcome. And in that space, you find peace, you find freedom, you find joy. Mastering detachment allows us to live life fully, experience every moment deeply, but without being enslaved by our experiences. It gives us the strength to face any storm, safe in the knowledge that it will pass, and we will remain stronger and wiser. I urge each one of you to take some time to introspect, to identify the hot coals you're holding onto, and to practice letting them go. It won't be easy, but remember, the most rewarding paths are often the hardest. Before we continue, I would like to remind you to hit that subscribe button and join our community. Together, we can navigate the complexities of life, armed with the profound wisdom of Stoicism. Your journey to self-discovery and self-mastery is just a click away. Remember, the power to change your life lies within you. And the first step towards that change? It's understanding, accepting, and practicing the art of detachment. So, let's continue on this journey together, embracing the freedom that comes with letting go. Because, dear friends, in the realm of detachment, we find our true strength. Let's discuss principle number 5, practicing mindfulness. In our fast-paced lives, our minds are perpetually juggling between thoughts of the past and worries about the future. It's like being in a race with no finish line. But what if I told you that the key to peace and contentment lies not in running faster, but in stepping off the track altogether? That's where practicing mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness, as advocated by Stoicism, is all about being present and engaged in the here and now. It's about savoring the taste of your morning coffee instead of thinking about the day's tasks. It's about listening to a friend without mentally preparing your response. It's about feeling the warmth of the sun on your face, the cool breeze in your hair. It's about truly experiencing life as it unfolds, moment by moment. Now, you might be wondering, how does this relate to inner strength? Think of mindfulness as the spotlight on a theater stage. When you shine this spotlight on the present moment, the distractions, past regrets, and future anxieties get pushed into the darkness. You see your life in its raw, unadulterated form, and this clear, uncluttered view gives you the strength to make conscious, thoughtful decisions. Every moment that you're mindful, you're in the driver's seat of your life. You're no longer being pushed around by external circumstances or internal turmoil. You're in control, and that's a very empowering feeling. But mindfulness isn't just about control, it's also about appreciation. When you're present, you start to notice the little things, the laughter of a loved one, the rustling of leaves, the smell of fresh earth after rain. These are the often overlooked aspects of life that bring real joy. By practicing mindfulness, you're not just strengthening your mind, you're enriching your life. Here's an easy way to start. I call it the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. When overwhelmed, pause for a moment and acknowledge 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This simple exercise can bring you back to the present, providing a sense of calm and grounding. Remember, practicing mindfulness is not an overnight transformation, it's a journey. There might be times when your mind wanders off, that's okay. Don't judge yourself. Instead, gently guide your thoughts back to the present moment. In conclusion, practicing mindfulness is like tuning into a radio frequency where peace, clarity, and joy are playing. It's a critical step on your journey to discover your inner strength. So I encourage you to take this step, to be present, to be mindful, and to truly live each moment. After all, life isn't a dress rehearsal, this is it. Why not make the most of it? Delving deeper into the heart of Stoicism, we find ourselves at the doorstep of principle number 6, seeking wisdom. This principle is not just about gaining knowledge or learning new facts. It's a deeper, more profound understanding of life and the world around us, a thirst for truth and a hunger for growth. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast ocean, the ocean of knowledge. The horizon stretches out endlessly, much like the boundless opportunities for learning that exist in our world. The Stoic philosophy encourages us to plunge into this expansive ocean, to seek wisdom, to strive for a greater understanding of ourselves and the world we inhabit. But how do we seek wisdom? It begins with curiosity, an open mind, and the humility to admit that we don't have all the answers. It involves asking questions, reading widely, engaging in thoughtful conversations, observing the world around us, and, just as importantly, learning from our experiences. Imagine every encounter, every experience as a chapter in the book of your life. Each chapter adds depth to your understanding, texture to your insights, and increases your wisdom. Every conversation could be a chance to learn something new, every setback an opportunity to grow, and every triumph a lesson in humility and gratitude. Remember, wisdom isn't about knowing all the answers, it's about understanding the right questions. It's recognizing that each day brings with it the opportunity to learn something new about ourselves, about others, about life. It's about understanding that wisdom is not a destination but a journey, a continuous process of learning, unlearning, and relearning. Consider the example of a tree. A tree doesn't stop growing because it has reached a certain height. It continues to grow, to reach for the sunlight, to spread its roots deeper into the soil. Similarly, we should never stop seeking wisdom, never stop growing, never stop reaching for the light of knowledge. This pursuit of wisdom does not just enrich us intellectually, it can profoundly impact our lives in other ways. It can help us make better decisions, improve our relationships, increase our resilience, enhance our empathy, and deepen our sense of fulfillment. It can lead to a greater understanding of our place in the world and our purpose in life. As we seek wisdom, we also cultivate a greater sense of tolerance and understanding. We learn to see things from different perspectives, to appreciate the diversity of human experience, and to respect the inherent value of all life. This, in turn, can foster a sense of interconnectedness, a realization that we are all part of the same tapestry of life. So, let's make a commitment to seek wisdom fervently, persistently, and passionately. Let's vow to be lifelong learners, to stay curious, to keep our minds open and our hearts receptive. And as we journey on this path of wisdom, let's remember the words of the ancient Stoic philosopher, Seneca, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. In conclusion, the Stoic principle of seeking wisdom is a call to embrace learning as a lifelong journey. It's an invitation to dive into the ocean of knowledge and swim towards the horizon of understanding. It's a challenge to enrich our lives, expand our worlds, and elevate our spirits through the profound power of wisdom. Resilience. This word isn't just about having the ability to recover quickly from adversity. It holds a deeper meaning. It's about understanding that life, with all its ups and downs, is an incredible journey. And it's about knowing that you have the strength to navigate through the toughest storms and come out stronger. Stoicism offers us a powerful tool in resilience. Principle number 7 on our list captures this very essence. It's about understanding that hardships, setbacks, and challenges are woven into the very fabric of life. Rather than trying to avoid or resist them, Stoics teach us to embrace these trials, learn from them, and use them as springboards to growth and development. Imagine, if you will, a bamboo tree. Unlike many other trees that stand rigid and break when a powerful wind blows, the bamboo tree bends. It yields to the wind, letting it pass through its leaves and branches. But as soon as the wind stops, it bounces back, standing tall and firm once again. It doesn't resist the storm, it adapts. It doesn't break, it bends and bounces back. That's resilience. This principle encourages us to be like that bamboo tree. When the winds of life get tough, we should learn to bend, not break. We should adapt and adjust, not resist. And when the winds subside, we should bounce back, stand tall, and continue our journey. This isn't to say that being resilient means not feeling the impact of life's challenges. It's human to feel pain, grief, and disappointment. But Stoicism teaches us that even in our most vulnerable moments, we hold the power to decide how these experiences will shape us. We can choose to let them break us, or we can let them build us. Take a moment to reflect on your life. Think about the hardships you've encountered and ask yourself, have they broken you or have they built you? If they've broken you, it's time to harness the power of resilience. If they build you, it's time to appreciate the strength you've developed and continue to cultivate it. Being resilient doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It means acknowledging the struggle, but not letting it define you. It's about looking for the silver lining, the lesson in each challenge. And most importantly, it's about knowing that no matter how many times life knocks you down, you have the power to rise back up. Remember, being like the bamboo tree means bending but never breaking. It means standing tall amidst storms, adaptable yet unshaken. This is a journey, a process, a lifelong commitment to growth and strength. The power of resilience lies within you. All you have to do is discover it, nurture it, and let it guide you through life's toughest storms. So, embrace resilience. Embrace the journey. The storms of life are powerful, but remember, so are you.